a very important role in bringing us together tonight. I'm Savannah Belcaverti. I have the honor and privilege to be the chair of the Department of Psychiatry, and I became the chair in October of 2019. So this class that is here, the pandemic hit in their second year of their residency. Sam Weiss has told me to mention we are now going live. So whatever you do will now be broadcast live streamed. Please do not yell profanity or other inappropriate things during the time we're recording.
I know.
So
no promise.
This is our first, fair enough. This is our first year of coming together for a more formal graduation since the pandemic. 2020, it was all virtual. Last year, it was sort of the last minute hoedown, which was wonderful to be together at the farm at Penny Lane, which is an important part of our department. And this year, we're back at the Rizzo Center, where we've historically had graduation for many years, albeit outside in a tent. And thanks to those who were able to weather this evening. I cannot be more proud of the graduating class. I think you're all remarkable. You've shown enormous courage, resilience, deep commitment. Residency is hard under any circumstance. And the last few years, I think we can all say, have been particularly challenging. So for those who are, here with loved ones, with family around the country listening, thank you for all of your support, for your encouragement, and to our residents, really, you have just done an incredible job. You will forever be able to say, when people talk about their residency training experience, you will be so unimpressed by whatever they may have encountered, given what you've been through. Psychiatry is a remarkable profession, and we'll hear tonight from our, as we hear about our residents graduating from general psychiatry and a number of fellowship programs, but the range of options that you can do as you practice psychiatry and go into the world is really infinite. And you've had the opportunity to train at a large academic medical center, seeing a range of faculty doing all different kinds of things. And you will each find your way out into the world to do what feels right to you. Whatever you do, you are desperately needed. The world is complicated. One can certainly say it's not necessarily at its best right now. There's not a shortage of suffering. There's certainly not a shortage of people struggling with mental health concerns. So for your families that wondered why you picked psychiatry, you can say now emphatically it was to have the job security that you are now assured of having, regardless of what you do. I want to end by saying a few things about the importance of you all making sure you seek joy. It has been a weighty, heavy time. And when you work with patients in our field that are struggling with mental health concerns, as psychiatrists, you're carrying often that burden and finding ways to balance that. And one of the most important ways to balance that is to make sure you take care of yourselves and seek the joy in your own lives in whatever way speaks to you. There's an author that I really loved in college that I still have pulled out books of poetry and writing over the course of the pandemic to be nourishing. And for anyone who's old enough to have read Hugh Prather in the 80s, I want to just read a brief excerpt from something which still resonates for me and hope it does for you. We are born into a life, and the life is waiting there. We don't pick it. We step into it. Parents, firstborn or last, the part of the country, the part of the world, our appearance, the efficiency of our brain. And then a time comes when we realize that we also have choices. And we start the task of building our own life. An impossible task considering the number of days we are given to complete it. However, I don't think what's important is to begin. So on this day of graduation for you all, which is an ending and a beginning, and for those of you who have the privilege to be involved in people's lives in profound ways as psychiatrists, encourage you to see this as a beginning for you to seek the life you want to build moving forward, both in your profession and your personal life, and to seek the joy that will sustain you. And please know we will be looking out for you fondly and with great pride. We are here to continue to support you and cheer you on, and look forward to watching what amazing things you do moving forward. So congratulations. So I'm going to now pass the bar, I believe, to none other than Dr. Karen Dawkins, our extraordinary trained director of general psychiatry, our vice chair of education in the department. Dr. Dawkins has been training director for more than 2 decades, and she if we start counting, we could do the math. The legacy of people she has trained, the alumni group of psychiatrists doing incredible work around the country and beyond. I can't think of anyone that you can all feel more fortunate to have led you in your training experience than Karen Dawkins. Welcome, Dr. Dawkins.
All righty. I'm Karen Dawkins. Some of you know me, the trainees for sure. With your families, I was the person who was dragging your loved ones around, making them go over here to get the photograph. That was me. I'm the program director, and I wanted to thank everybody. Special thanks to our chair, Samantha Belcaverti, who was key in commissioning our return to an in-person event, and who always champions residency education. I thank Winston, I thank Kimberly and Sam. Laura's not here, but they are so important to psychiatry education. And Sam is not a part of the psychiatry education office, Sam Weiss, but she always lends her immense talent to all departmental endeavors, including this event. And for that, we're grateful, because a lot of our staff is new. So thank you very much. We are proud. We couldn't be any prouder about the timing and that sort of thing. But all of the graduates persevered and found a way to maintain and move forward. Still so much to do. Job security. So it's my great joy and confidence on this evening that these residents, these graduates are prepared to do it. Whether in private practice, community, or public sector, or academic psychiatry, they are ready to apply what they've learned, and just as importantly, to continue learning over their careers. They are ready, but not done. And so, one of the things I do is I try to find a word to describe each of the graduates. You guys probably know there are plenty of words that can be used to describe your people. I'm just going to pick one. But say there are a lot of others. All right? And so what I'm going to do is ask people to come up so I can see them and talk to them as I give them their word. And our first person is Allison. Allison Art. It's gonna be a D. Okay. Alrighty. My word for Allison is analytic. And it's like, duh. Are you a beast more complicated and savage than Typhon, which is a monstrous, deadly serpentine creature in Greek mythology? I had to look it up. Or a tamer, simpler animal with a share in the divine and gentle nature? Most definitely the latter. You will not find a saner, more diligent, contemplative resident. I am always interested in the evolution of resident interests. Allison found hers early on and dove in with both feet when she did. The analytic world has found a star. She's going to be going into private practice and probably doing some analytic training.
Okay, I'm a little more emotional than I anticipated. I'm so proud to be part of this community. I have so many to thank. Just a few. My partner Adam and my family. I could never do this without you. Dr. Hutto, I knew your way I wanted to be like before I thought it. Dr. Yarsgog, your steady way that patients of all levels of organization respond to. Dr. Gala, being able to do philosophy as a psychiatrist, I still cannot believe I can do it. Dr. Nur, there are so many Dr. Nurisms I've ingested and continue to savor. And I have to say, Dr. Williams, your high-spirited curiosity, intelligence, and generosity are so exemplify the community here, where I can knock on the door and I'm met with support, expertise, and so much more. It's like, do you want fries with that? Do you want a drink? That's the community here. And last, my dear co-residents, to go on this journey with you, I'll never forget. Thanks.
So yeah, I had to do a double check. S does come after R. So ID. The word that I picked for Ideen is medley. For those who don't know, Ideen is a musician, a classical pianist who has performed at Carnegie Hall. I sought a word that would speak to the scientific, the medicine, as well as the accomplished composer. He is a fusion of the two, a mashup, an original score. The creative informed the clinical. Ideen has managed to be fully immersed in both worlds. He's going to be an attending psychiatrist at the Durham VA.
Thank you for the kind words. First of all, I'd like to thank my mom and dad, my girlfriend Amanda. They're here tonight, as well as Amanda's rest of Amanda's family, many of whom are streaming this video right now. I'd also like to thank the faculty at UNC. I couldn't specify I couldn't have a specific name because I pretty much like all the faculties I work with. So they were always available during my training, and I never felt alone. I really appreciate their wisdom, knowledge, their patience with us, especially during the beginning of our first and second years as we were learning the ropes of inpatient and outpatient psychiatry. I couldn't ask for better co-residents who were supportive, remained human outside of work, and put up with my quirky humor, which was often my coping mechanism during stressful situations at work. And of course, I would like to thank Dr. Dawkins, the coordinators, and the recruitment team for welcoming me to the UNC family. And also like to thank some people who are not in this room tonight. The hard work of admins, nurses, social workers, also, of course, the advanced practice providers like the NPs who helped cover us while we had didactics or were outstretched with other responsibilities. And I cannot forget the efforts of the current PGY 1s, 2s, and 3s for keeping the hospital service running 24/7. If it isn't for them, particularly the current PGY 2s who are doing overnight calls, we, the PGY 4s, would probably not all be able to attend this this event tonight. And lastly, I would also like to thank people who supported me during medical school and undergrad and helped me to get to where I am today. Thank you.
Mackenzie? Yeah, you get higher up in the alphabet now. So, but Mackenzie's the first chief to come up here. But a collective word for the chief residents is industrious. They had a lot to do.